Typically, most fights or self-defense scenarios start with somebody trying to push you. Do you know what to do when somebody pushes you? All right, today's warm-up, we're going to be focusing on how to hit the ground. Chris is going to be demonstrating just how to do single foot, single ladder. So all you're doing right now, you're just walking at home. If you can, just walk down your hallway. Nice and simple, just trying to warm up on joints. On the way back every time, you're gonna be doing what's called a monkey crawl, or what we call monkey crawl. So he goes into his monkey crawl position. What I want you guys to think is like somebody could eat dinner off your back. So he's gonna move his arms out a little bit further. He's gonna make that nice and flat. You can see he almost has 90 degrees here. Try and keep this flat as you're doing your crawl. Go ahead. Right, and the thighs are nice and in. Nothing is flaring out to the side, causing issues in your hips. Okay, and just going back and forth. Okay, so he's going to do that a couple times. Feel free to follow along at home or just go along at your own pace. If you have the ladders, fantastic. It's just going to give you, let's go. It's going to give you eye-foot coordination. But again, we're just trying to warm up our joints. Okay, if you guys are at home and you don't really have too much space, right? Just high knees, right? Notice I'm not running or jogging or, I'm pissing off my neighbors below me if I'm in an apartment. I'm just warming up those joints. Okay, so keep those hands up, legs just moving in space. He's monkey crawling the way back. This is gonna start warming up our whole body. We wanna make sure we're nice and warm. And if you notice, we're gonna do everything dynamically. That means we're moving. Now we're gonna go to what's called single foot double ladder. So now he's gonna skip one. So now we're just making that a little bit further. If you're in your hallway at home, same idea. On the way back this time, he's gonna do what's called a reverse crab walk. So he turns around. Okay, we're not trying to get a core workout here, so the hips don't have to be high. We want the hips nice and low. This is a little lower. This is so that we can make sure that we can get away nice and fast. So as long as there's just space under your ass, you're good. He's going back and he's just making fast little motions here. This one can be a little bit faster as long as it's not hard on your wrist. So he's doing reverse crab walk on the way back. On the way there, that single foot double ladder. Okay, so just stretching it out. If you're running down that hallway, boom, jog right now. You are not running, okay? The reason why we do this is one, have good eye-foot coordination and warm our body up, but it's also to make sure that in a self-defense situation, we can run away, right? If we can run, that is always our goal, but sometimes we can't. Sometimes maybe we have bad situational awareness where we're caught in that position, or sometimes we're with our family and we can't run, okay? Again, if you don't have much space at home, now just bring a little bit of a jog into it. Okay, so just knees not super high, right? I'm not going like this like I was last time. Now I'm just getting a little bit more motion into my body. He's going to do that reverse crab walk a little faster now. As your body starts feeling warmer, go to your own pace, but push yourself a little bit. We're going to switch it to single foot triple ladder now. So now he's basically full out sprinting, right? And he's trying to run. On the way back, he's going to do what's called shrimping. So he's on his back. Notice when he gets to the ground, he's always doing his break fall. Don't worry, I'm going to teach you guys how to do that nice and safely at home. So shrimping's a funky motion, but it's one that I want you to get really, really good at. So we're going to go super slow-mo. He's going to plant his feet. He's going to bridge up. Okay, from here, notice he's on both of his shoulder blades. So we're going to have him go to his right shoulder blade. So we would call that bridging right. Now what he's going to do is he's going to try and take his butt, and he's going to shrimp his butt all the way up here to that corner. Right, so he's got to push off of that beautiful demonstration there. He extends out. So it's like a shrimp. You're shrimping across the floor. You see this in every BJJ program. So now he's going to go the other side. He bridges up, bridges to his left shoulder now. He's going to shoot his butt out to the right. He's going to push himself back. He extends back, and he repeats that again and again. Go ahead. Okay, if you can't get this right away, don't worry, okay? In your normal BJJ program, this takes a long time to be very good at. Your goal is to get across your floor in the least amount of repetitions as possible. So at first, if it takes you like 15 to move 5 feet, cool. Eventually, it will be less and less and less. He gets back on that ladder, single foot, triple ladder, working on that eye-foot coordination, running down the hallway. He's shrimping on the way back. What do you do if you're at home? I'm pretty sure you've guessed it by now. High knees, a little bit of a faster. So now high knees, getting that sprint in, pretending like you're running. That's really all we're trying to do is just run. If you have injuries or disabilities, do to your best, right? You're not going to be able to go super high knees sometimes. I have a bad back. I could actually feel that a little bit. So I wouldn't be going super crazy with that. Okay, so one more time. He's going to be sprinting across. He goes single foot, triple ladder, boom, he's just getting a couple of runs in, but he goes down on the ground, he's shrimping. So if you notice what we're doing is we're learning how to get up and get down to the ground nice and safe. He can go a little faster with the shrimp as he gets better. So he's boom, shrimping, boom, shrimping, very nice. On the ladder now we're gonna switch to what I call out and ins, or in and outs. So I'm on the outside of the ladder, now on the inside of the ladder. If you have traditional martial arts training, think about getting your horse stance here, bringing those legs in. We'll let Chris demonstrate. He's gonna go super nice and low because he's young, he's got healthy knees, everything's good. He's working on those Suzanne Summer muscles. Yes, I just dated myself there, may she rest in peace. Okay, legs are out, working on that horse stance. He can go a little faster if he wants, all depends how much of a leg burn he wants. Again, we're getting good at getting up and down. On the way back this time, he's gonna monkey crawl back for this one. So he monkey crawls, boom, a little faster because he's warmer now. Now you guys are warmer, you can be working. He's outside, inside again. So outside, inside, outside, inside. He's moving forward while you're doing this. Okay, if you guys are at home, just in the same spot. Out and in, out and in, out and in. Okay, on the way back this time, he's reverse crab walking. So now we're kind of getting a repetition in of everything that we've done. He reverse crab walks, boom, jumps back on the ladder. This gets pretty exhausting as time goes on, so push yourself here again, outside, inside, boom, out and in, a little faster. See, he's breathing a little harder, our heart rate's accelerating, our breathing rate's increasing. This is all good for our body. This is what's going to get us nice and warm. Last one, he's gonna shrimp on the way back. Notice how he hits the ground. He's doing that good break fall. Okay, so again, he's shrimping, he's shrimping, he's shrimping, he's shrimping. He's got even better. It took him 5 to get across, now that only took 4. On the ladders this time, we're going to do what's called a replacement step. So what I'm doing that is I'm going on the right side of the ladder. So right side, inside 1, 2. Left side of the ladder, inside 1, 2. So right, 1, 2. Left, 1, 2. Right, 1, 2. Left, 1, 2. Right, 1, 2. Let's watch Chris do it. He can do it nice and fast. So he's just going forward. We're not going to worry about going backwards right now. Nice and fast. Let's go. Right? He's just moving, and he's going to alternate, okay, between that monkey crawl, that reverse crab walk, and that shrimping. I'm going to show you guys how to do it at home if you don't have space. Okay, so he's doing his monkey crawl. Do your monkey crawl, please. Thank you. So if I'm doing my replacement step at home, I go into a fighting stance now. I take my stance 45 degrees, I bring my feet together, and then I step forward. Okay, from here, now I'm going to C-step back or crescent step back. Then I'm going to work on my replacement step forward. Feet come together, step it out, replacement step back. So I'm going forward, back, back. Okay, little things you can be thinking about here. If you've trained martial arts before, have your hands and your guard up. The guard stays up, I switch my guard. The guard stays up, I switch my guard. Okay, always want to be training our stance. He should be on his last rep now. He is. He's shrimping. He's moving. He's doing a great job. Fantastic. Okay, little tiny break. Get your breath back. Chris is going to come up front because he's nice and fit. He doesn't have to worry about that. He's going to turn sideways for the demonstration. Now we're going to be working on what's called your break falls. Okay, very important. 1, I hope you never get in a self-defense altercation. But 2, you might slip and fall just because. Okay, so I want you to get really good at these. First thing I do in my kids program and adults program, I make sure that you guys protect yourself. So he's going to protect himself. Okay, think about holding your iPad, carrying groceries, maybe carrying a baby. When people fall down, they tend to break their elbows or they break their wrists because they fall out on their hands. I don't believe in slapping the ground. I do it if I'm in a martial arts dojo for sure because I have soft floor. But if I happen to do it outside and I slap the concrete, I could be actually creating more injury. What he's going to do, he's going to squat his butt down to his heels. He's going to rock back so he doesn't land on his tailbone. And he's going to try and get the feet, hip, and shoulders in one straight line. If he gives me his legs, he extends up. This is the position we're looking for when we do this. Bonus points if you curl your toes towards your face to produce the ball of your foot so that you can think about doing your kicks at the same time. Okay, nice and slow. Hold on. Nice and slow. We're going to learn how to sit up. So he does a sit up. He plants his left foot, puts his right hand out. His left hand's going to do what's called a wing cover. What I want you to think of right now is somebody's here and they're trying to hit you. They pushed you down to the ground. You hit the ground nice and safe. Now you got to get back up really fast, okay? But first, we're warming up, so train it slow. So he planted his foot, planted his hand in a wing cover. He takes his butt off the ground. His butt's off the ground. He's going to kick. Let's simulate that sends me away. He's going to bring his leg back into a stance. He's going to stand up, and hopefully in the time he stands up, now at least we're back to square one where we're both in a safe position. Technically, he's in that safe position. So let's do that again. So he does his back break fall. Very nice. Notice how he's tucking his chin in to make sure his head is safe. If you're at home, make sure there's no couches behind you or tables or children or cats or anything like that. He plants his foot, plants his hand, does his wing cover, butt off the ground, kick into his stance. Perfect. Now we're going to try our side break fall. So side break fall, please stay in your stance. He's just going to pretend to slip and fall on the banana peel. That's it. Okay, don't worry about doing too much more. As you guys continue training with me at home, you're gonna understand why I do certain things. I'm very methodical in my approach. Everything is done for a reason. So he's gonna slip and fall, keeping those arms in protected. Go ahead, sir. He slips, he's trying to land on his butt cheek, not his spine. He's trying to land on his lat or the muscle underneath your armpit. Again, making sure his head is protected. Bonus points if his leg is protecting his groin as he hits the floor. Now let's get back up. He plants the foot, plants the hand, does the wing cover, butt off the ground, throws the kick into his stance. Let's do that again. He does a side break fall. Slips on the banana peel. Perfect. Plants his foot, plants his hand, wing cover, butt off the ground, kick into his stance. And we're back. Let's make sure we train both sides. So he switches his legs. Same idea. Slips on the banana peel. Boom. Butt cheek. Latissimus dorsi or lat muscle. Arms are protected. He's not putting his hands out and hitting the floor. Okay, use your soft squishy parts to make sure that you're safe. He plants his foot on the other side, plants his left hand, so that's right foot, left hand. Goes right wing cover. When you're doing your wing cover, I want you to protect the back of your head. So important. Okay, right where your spine meets your cranium, okay, or your skull. So this is protected, his brainstem is protected because he might be taking shots back here. So that's priority right now, not his ugly face, okay? So his butt comes off the ground, he does his kick, he goes into a stance, perfect. He does his side break fall again, slip and fall, very nice. He plants his foot, plants his hand, does a wing cover, butt off the ground, and if you wanna make it harder, we can just do 10 kicks here. So let's do 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 1. He's done. Beautiful. Goes into his stance, and then he's up. Switch sides for him, please, Chris. He does his break fall again. Boom. So he's in his side break fall. He plants his foot, plants his hand, does his wing cover. Remember, we're warming up, so you can be taking this slow. Don't worry, I'm going to make it really fast super soon. But what I want you to focus on is your stance. So if we bring the camera nice and close, he goes to kick, boom, and he gets into a stance. Most of you guys depend on your flexibility. Your foot isn't going to be in this 45 degree that Chris is at. This foot is probably going to be way back here. Move it back here, sir. Now, if you look at his stance, if he's taking circular shots, he's going to fall over very easy. Okay, so you want to be able to get that leg all the way to the side. So if I demonstrate this here, I have bad knees and bad back. So I go to sit up, I'm here, I'm covered. My leg, if I'm warm, can go to that position. But if it's not warm and maybe you guys don't train a lot at home, that's okay. I'll show you a version you can do. Think about your knee. So I cover, butt off, kick. Now my knee's gonna go to the 45 degrees. I take my leg, make sure it's directly behind me. Don't try and stand up like this. You're gonna blow out the lateral side of your knee. Bring that leg here, cover, push up, stance, boom. You don't need to work out anymore. You just got to do some martial arts at home. Okay, so now let's make it a little bit of a warm-up. Now we have our bases. Try and focus on your technique. That is your goal, but if you can't get that, that's okay. Build on to that as the weeks and months go on. So he's going to do a back break fall. He's going to do a tactical stand-up. He's going to do a side break fall. He's going to do a tactical stand-up. He's going to switch sides. He's going to do a side break fall. He's going to do a tactical stand-up. He's going to go back into his back break fall. So that's one full round. Round two, ready? Back break fall. Tactical stand-up. side break fall, tactical stand up, switch sides, side break fall, tactical stand up. Round 2 complete. Round 3, back break fall, tactical stand up, side break fall, tactical stand up, switch sides, side break fall, tactical stand up. Round 3 complete. Round 4, back break fall, tactical stand up, side break fall, tactical stand up, switch sides, side break fall, tactical stand up, almost there. Round 4 complete. Round 5, back break fall, tactical stand up, switch side, or sorry, side break fall. You were right, my friend. Good. Tactical stand up, switch sides, side break fall, tactical stand up, and breathe. Very nice. Right? He's sweating. I'm kind of sweating just watching him. Okay, so if you guys are working out at home right now, chance to control your breathing. Try and focus on your out breath. Right? Listen to every MMA fighter, boxing fight in the corner if their cardio is not so good. What are this coach telling them? Focus on your breath out. Empty the carbon dioxide out of your system. Naturally, you're going to want to be breathing in that oxygen. So breathe in, breathe out, push all of that out. Okay, so if I'm breathing in for 3 seconds, I'm breathing out for 5. That's going to help you recover faster. Okay, so a nice little simple warm-up. What are the things you're going to take away from this before we get into our training? Don't put your hands out when you fall. Okay, and you got to work your butt off sometimes. Great warm-up, you guys. Let's get into it. Okay, when it comes to dealing with a push, there's a lot of different things that can take place. Number 1 is timing, right? Like everything, if you can keep your reactionary gap, he goes to step in to push me, I can step back, I stay safe, it should be good, right? But the thing is if you're at a club or if you have a wall behind you or something like that, or a car, sometimes you can't always step back. So let's just pretend like he's kind of cocking off a little bit. He goes in his kind of aggressive stance. I now posture into my stance. I'm trying to verbally de-escalate the situation. It's not working, and he chooses to engage. So this is where you really have to take a look and be like, okay, what are my options? How much training do I have? Am I going to fight this with hard versus soft energy, or soft versus hard energy, or hard versus hard? Like, there's a lot of things going on here. So this is why it's very important to be able to train. That's why these videos are made for you guys. So if I'm bigger and stronger and have training and have great timing, it should look hopefully like this. So he comes in, boom, and I just open up the door. Okay, so slow-mo, what I do there, I bring both my hands up and I open it up. Now, I don't want to like try and hi-ya chop it way out that way. That's not necessarily realistic. I want to just kind of get to the inside. Okay, to let's say his hands opened up a little bit further. If they're really far here, you can square up and start smashing right away. Is that legal? Well, he only tried to push you. Was he trying to punch you? Wow, we're dealing with lots of things. So the way I like to think about it is, if I'm pushing on him, and if you actually seen there, is when I open Chris, he tried to close it back. Right? So I try to open him, he pushes the energy back. It's hard to get a good strike here. If I try and punch him in the face and he just resists a little bit, see, it's going to defend. Right? So this is where this stickiness, this chi sao, this Wing Chun kind of sticky hand stuff comes into play. So what I'm looking for is now to use my whole body and to drive forward and to get my hands to his face. So notice I'm not thinking about punching, I'm not thinking about striking, I'm not thinking about power. I'm really just thinking about put my hands there, right? You see, even I got hit in the face there. Sometimes it happens because why? His hand came back in. As I came in, it hit. It's going to happen, guys. That's the name of the game. So my hands came to here. Now what do I do? Okay. If you come to this side here, think about your fingers into the eye socket. All I'm trying to do here, like I'm not trying to scoop his eyeballs out. I'm not teaching you guys how to kill somebody or maim them for life. I just want them to kind of get it. Yeah, see that response? It doesn't feel good. Okay, so be nice to your training partners, please. So I'm here, but it's my whole body that step forward. So as I'm going to do that, I'm just putting my hands. Hopefully that takes his spine and his body and his energy backwards. And now I'm just driving him. If you look here, try and resist, please, step forward. See how he had to switch his footwork? Because he's very weak, because his spine started curving back. So that's a game changer right away. Keep that energy going as you're driving. So I'm here and I'm just driving back. Again, I'm bigger, stronger, and have training. So this technique will work for me. There's little tips and tricks that you can do. Okay, so I'm here now. What do you do? His hands are probably still up, or they're thinking about coming back to his face. Headbutt time. Okay. So I don't like lifting my legs off the ground if I don't have to. My hands are already on the face. I can be pulling on ears and pulling on hair and doing all these weird things. But number one thing is we need to get rounds down range. I need to start inflicting some damage. Tuck your chin in, aim for the nose. It's up, right in between your thumbs. Just crash that nose in, okay? And notice I'm using my body to do this. I'm not just doing this and nodding my head up and down. I'm crushing in with my nose, okay? It's from here that if you notice, I'm just going to switch to his chest so it doesn't hurt his face so much. My energy is now going forward, all off of my rear leg. So because that's happening here, if this is up here, now I can drive into that groin if I want. As I drive, maybe I switch and switch. So let's go back from the beginning. He's here, he steps in. Right? I open, boom, go forward, right leg. He's in, bang, go for my headbutt. Okay? If it feels like at this point here that you have a good base and the headbutt's too far, notice how I was pretty far that time. I can be driving those knees in, driving those knees in. I don't really care where I hit because people naturally protect their groin. So if he puts his left leg in front of his groin, boom, it's just a little Charlie horse. But remember, you were trying, or you were being pushed, or they were trying to push you. So you open it up, drive forward, and keep on going. There's lots of things you can do after that. So he comes in, boom, open, drive, grab, knee, headbutt. Now smash, right? So here on that knee, he created some space. I love the clench. I love when my hand is here because I can close my eyes and hit it every time. So if I clench from here, I can throw. If he grabs this arm, now I can't punch him. I can still clear out of that. But what am I trying to do here? Am I resist? If I'm trying to hit him and he's stopping me, now he's going to get back in the fight. He's going to start pushing forward. He's going to start wanting to punch and do all these different things. And now we're in a big, long fight. In the self-defense world, don't think like martial arts. Think about driving through them, stopping their energy, and getting out to safety. So he comes in, hey man, I don't want to fight. Bam, boom, headbutt, knee, smash, and get away. Okay, so somebody is now bigger than you. I'm bigger than Chris. I'm pushing him. Okay, so think like best way to fight it, hard versus soft energy. I don't want you to develop this habit, and this is typically what I see is when I push somebody or they get pushed, they kind of stumble back, right? So he stumbles back. And when you see that happen, it happens all the time, but then that guy like comes back and tries to push me, and now we're in a fight, right? Because if you get pushed and they don't try and charge you after, like run away. Like that's the best self-defense. So let's say he stumbles back again, he pushes, boom, there's a chance for him to eat that punch, right? Because when somebody's falling back, they're worried about how they're falling and they're not gonna fall into something or away, right? And that's why that punch tends to work. I've seen that actually be used by bouncers quite a bit. So we get pushed. Soft energy versus hard energy. I'm gonna push him, I'm gonna try and punch him, and compared to him stumbling back, I want him to just do a breakfall. Okay, so I push, boom, I try and hit him, and he's no longer there. Awesome. Okay, so this is why it's so important for you to be able to train to hit the ground safely, right? I don't recommend this. Like, obviously, if he goes to push me, and I can do that, like do that. If he goes to push me, and I can step away, step away. Those are all very good options, okay? But this is like your timing was just bad. You don't want to eat that punch, and now you're on the ground. If you're going to choose to go to the ground doing this, you better have some game to get you back up to your feet, okay? And I don't even want to say it's a choice. It's more just like a reaction that your martial arts training kicked in. So he happened to do a back break fall there. Let's just look at what happened. I pushed him. He does a back break fall. Boom, he kicks if he holds his legs up. Right, butts off the ground, he's created a wedge into the floor. So even if I stepped forward, look, right, I outweigh him by quite a bit, but because he has strength, right, and he has structural integrity here, he can stop me from going forward. So that's going to be able to get him away, or to get me away from him. So I push him, he hits the ground. Well, now what are you going to do? So I push, he falls down. Perfect, this is where he is. Okay, I'm standing, now he's on the ground. Option number one should always be get back to your feet as quick as you can, okay? He's gonna plant his right leg. He's gonna plant his left hand. He's gonna cover his head with what we call a wing cover. Okay. In jiu-jitsu, you tend to see them have their hand out here, but if I grab that hand and smash him, it doesn't work, where if he covers it, this can help him. All of this is happening within like 0.5 of a second, hopefully. His butt comes off the ground, he kicks me away, that gets me away, that gives him a chance to stand up, and now he knows that I have intention to really do some damage. Okay, so we call that a tactical stand-up or a technical stand-up, depending on your lineage. When he falls down, he's doing a back breakfall there, but he could also fall sideways and fall on one butt cheek. If he falls on the butt cheek, we just call it a side breakfall. Nice, good job. He tucked his head in, so at least he didn't smash his head on the wall. Okay, and again, so now we're here, right? It's what can he do? I'm far enough away right now, right, that he could probably just stand up super fast. So he stands up, I'm punching him. That cover works, good job. He's cutting the angle. Let's get away from the wall this time. So option number one, tactical stand-up. You hit the ground, you get back up fast. That's why it's so important for you to be able to train, right? If he was by himself, back breakfall, tactical stand-up, boom, that's his training, right? It's kicked in. It's, okay, it's time to get up. I hit the ground, I lost my timing, I had poor situational awareness, and he's down. I'm gonna give you another option though. So I push, he's down, okay? Now from here, the attacker is quite close. Now it's jiu-jitsu time, right? His other hand, his right hand comes and grabs the back of my ankle, okay? His left leg hooks the inside of the back. So now he has a hook from his leg and his arm, okay? This makes it hard for me to do something. You don't want to stay here for too long though. In jiu-jitsu, this is a big, long fight, as I'm sure you guys are aware. But in the Kung Fu world or in the street world, I can just smash the groin. So your training again has to kick in hand grab, foot grab, and now the other leg comes up. What he's trying to do here is push my leg nice and slow. He pushes it to straighten this leg out. When I can't straighten this leg out, when I can't bend it anymore, I'm gonna fall. So he pushes on that, right? And I'm holding it, go ahead, push, 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 push. And I'm down and he's up right away, right? Because that's where he needs to be, right? So let's imagine, right, that I push him, we're down, I'm close, I'm trying to punch him, right? And as I'm punching, he's falling down to the ground. Again, it's just one option to give you some safe choices. Okay, we're biped creatures, right? What does that mean? We need to be on 2 feet or use our 2 limbs in order to be able to stand. If you live in like somewhere super warm, you might not actually think about this as much as us Canadians, eh? Because we have to deal with snow, ice, slippery ground, right? All these things, right? So when it comes to self-defense, my big thing is like, when should I actually be kicking or punching? And the answer in self-defense versus martial arts is as little as I can, okay? So the reason why, okay? Let's say Chris is going to push me, right? And he goes to push me and I kick him. No, you're stronger than that. And push and boom, and I fall back, right? So maybe I'm bigger, maybe I'm stronger, maybe I have great kicking, right? And I've kicked for 30 years. And I can like smash him with a kick, right? And maybe it sends him back. But let's just say in that moment that my left foot is on snow or ice or rocks or pebble or sand or beach where it's just poor footing, poor environment. And I go to kick him, and as I kick, I fall on my ass, right? Is that going to be the best place for you? No, obviously. So that's why as a biped creature, if he comes in, I need to be able to hold my ground. And this is why your footwork is so important. As much as I love kicking, as much as I love martial arts, I started realizing that the more times that I've picked up a leg in a fight, the more times I ended up on the ground. And without good ground training and good jiu-jitsu training or wrestling, you're not going to be very good at defending yourself on the ground. So it's not necessarily that wise. But let's continue on with the push. He comes in, boom, I drive forward, I get him all the way to the wall. So again, we're back here at the wall. What are we doing, right? Because you guys see in the video, I threw a knee. Why did I throw that knee? Because I felt like I was solid enough that I could drive into him because I had forward energy. And I truly, truly believe that that's so important, right? You see it in Muay Thai, they get him into the ropes and they just start jamming in, but it's the forward energy that makes it hard for their opponent to get away. But one of my biggest pet peeves is, say, a woman's self-defense course. Let's say Chris is choking me. I just have away from the mic, thank you. So he's choking me, right? And he has forward energy, and I go throw the knee to the groin because the knee to the groin always works forward energy, and now I'm falling back. Do I fall back into traffic? Do I fall onto the ground? Like, that's a bad place to be. So when we're against that wall, one, you better have good training that you're throwing knees, right? An accurate knee is hard to be very good at. If you think the groin is going to do everything, it's not. I'm sorry to burst your bubble. It's going to hurt them a little bit, but it's not going to end the fight by any means. Just like a single punch won't end a fight. So when I'm here, I have forward energy. I'm pushing onto him. If I throw the knee, that's why I drive and I put it down immediately and step back. Drive and step back. Because if I drive into him and he starts pushing on me right now, at least now I have my stance again. But notice the key thing there. I'm always focusing on a good stance on my footwork. And I think it's so important that you guys understand that as much as I like kicking, I won't kick in a self-defense situation unless all of those factors are on my side. I have good footwear. I have a good environment, a good surface to be on. I'm not inebriated. My balance is good. My timing is perfect. I see him coming from a mile away. I can throw my kick at him and do some damage. That's a lot of factors that have to be on your side. When instead, lock down in your stance and get the job done. Stay safe.